the abridged replay of the first session of our Timetablers webinar series. My name is Marty, and I'll be running these every Thursday at 2:30 p.m, except for Thursday the 12th of March, when I'll be hosting an executive seminar in person instead. The idea behind that seminar is simple. It is my chance to advocate on your behalf and tell your executive to get you the timetabling information you need early, and to commit to giving you 3 solid weeks in late term 3 or early term 4, where they promise to stop changing their minds, stop letting students change their minds, and stop changing loads, at least temporarily. Why does that matter? Because every timetabler on earth feels better once the first draft of the timetable is done. But you can't get a draft done without some breathing space, even for just a few weeks. So please employ your principal, your director of staffing, whoever needs to hear it, to come along on March 12. Okay, great. Before we jump in, let me set the scene for how these sessions will work. They are intended to be Q&A first. The purpose of these sessions isn't to watch me run through an import. There are videos in the notes section if you want those. The purpose is for me to walk through the steps live so that you can stop me at step 4 and say, hang on, I've got a question about this. The questions are the most valuable part, so please don't hold back. Camera and mic, totally optional. Keep them off if you'd prefer, no pressure at all. Asking questions, you can raise your hand in Teams, drop something in the chat, or if you'd rather ask anonymously, email it to me and I'll cover it without naming names. There are no silly questions. Okay, the pre-work. Each week will follow the same rhythm. On roughly Monday or Tuesday, I will send through some content, an app to look at, a short video, or a heads up on the week's topic so you can think about questions in advance. Thursday at 2:30, we meet live for the screen share and Q&A. After each session, the recording will go out, so you can always catch up or revisit something later. There will be 13 sessions across 3 blocks. Block 1 is the foundations. That's what we're starting with today. Getting your current timetable data in, then across the next few weeks, we'll cover exams, exam supervision, subject structure, and resource planning. Block 2 in term 2 is the planning side. Subject changes, staff planning, pre-selections, student selections and decisions, student solving, and more. Block 3 in term 3 is the build itself. Timetable construction, finishing touches, yard solving, meeting solving, reports, and so on. By the end, when it's go time, when you're ready to build your timetable or publish your exams, we hope that you'll just have to press a few buttons and everything will already be in place. Before I get into today's content, I want to touch on something that's been happening behind the scenes because it's relevant to what you'll see today and across the whole series. We have been rebuilding a lot of the tools and workflows you use into a single connected platform. Your timetable data feeds into your load reports. Your subject structure feeds into the class predictor, student selections flow into the solver, and everything talks to everything else. Today's session is the starting point, getting your timetable data into the platform so everything else can build on top of it. If you tuned in last week, you would have seen a preview right now on our data manager, but I'm going to skip over that in this abridged version. If you would like to see it, just get in contact and I'll show you the incredible things that our data manager can do with your old timetable files. Okay, why should you import your current timetable to the current grid? Before I show you how to do the import, let me explain why it matters. Teacher loads via single sign-on. Once your timetable data is in the current grid, teachers can see their own live load through single sign-on. You just need to switch on current load access in ST, which is setup tasks, and then school views. Automated current reports. The reports in the left-hand sidebar update automatically from the imported data. Subject selection rules. Student enrollments get tracked and that feeds into your selection rules. So prerequisites and exclusions are checked automatically when students make their selections. To view these, simply go to CG for current grid and press Current Student Preferences. There won't be anything in there until you've imported a timetable. And smarter planner grids. As you know, your planner grids will know who taught what in previous years, which makes staffing decisions much easier and more informed. And that's why we start here. Today is a two-step workflow. Step 1, the TFX Grid Sync Checker. This makes sure everything in your timetable file has a matching record in school data before you import. And step 2, the TFX Parser. This is what actually brings the data in to the current grid. Importantly, we have just devoted some resources to this over the last couple of days. If you would rather not run through this yourself, you can simply email your files to us at support@schooldata.com.au. Make sure you send a zip file containing your 2026 semester 1 TFX and linked SFX files, if that's the period that you'd like us to import. If you are a multi-campus school, please mention in the email which campus or campuses the files apply to. And also confirm the date range. So for most of you, that'll be semester 1, 2026. We are happy to do it, but if you want to learn how to do it yourself, that's exactly what the rest of this session is about. Before you import your timetable, you want to make sure your subjects, teachers, students, and allowances all have matching records in school data. If there's a mismatch, your import can fail or you'll end up with gaps. That's what this tool is for. To use the tool, firstly, in school data, go to the admin menu, which is in the left-hand side bar menu. Press Export Validation Tables. This downloads several CSVs and 4 of them are important: master subjects, master staff, master students, and master allowances. Simply leave them in your downloads folder. Step 2, open the app. As we said earlier, go to CG for current grid. Then this time you want to press Import Timetables. At the top, you'll see a notes section. Click that, and there is a link to the Grid Sync Checker. This opens in a new tab. Step 3, upload your TFX file, and when prompted, the 4 master table CSVs. Master subjects is compulsory. The others are optional, but I would recommend uploading all of them. Step 4, code patterns. For 99% of schools, the answer is no, you don't need them. Code patterns only matter if your school embeds something like the calendar year in your class codes, like 26 EN01301 becoming 27 EN01301 for the first year 12 English class next year. If your codes are standard, you don't need them. I sent through a short explainer with this webinar's pre-work if you want to dig deeper. And there is also a video in the notes section of the current grid import timetable screen where you can see a quick explainer on code patterns and whether you need them. Press Run All Checks in the TFX Grid Sync Checker and you will get a report of any discrepancies between your master school data table and your TFX files. The checker looks across subjects, staff, and allowances and students and flags 2 types of issues. Not found. This record is in your TFX file but doesn't exist in the school data master table at all. You need to add it before you import. And inactive. The record exists in the master table, but it's switched off. It won't come through unless you reactivate it. If there are issues, you can export them straight from this TFX Grid Sync Checker app as a CSV, formatted already in a manner that the importer requires. No reformatting needed. Fix your master tables, re-export your validation CSVs, run the checker again. This checker app is read-only. Sorry, I should have clicked these earlier. This checker app is read-only. It never changes your data. Once you're getting all greens in the checker app, you are ready for the parser. Now, one important point. We have just in the last 48 hours updated the import function in all master tables so that import and merge are the same button. When you use it, it returns a report showing all the detected changes, covering new records and updated records. And you get to decide what you want to do with each type. So fixing issues from the checker is now a much smoother process. Now the actual import from the home screen, press CG for current grid, import timetables and run the TFX parser. But before you run it, a quick heads up. You need to have FTL current and FTL future set to a greater value than 0 in ST school loads. If those fields are blank or 0, the parser will throw an error. It's a one-time thing. Just open school loads in your setup tasks menu and make sure both values are filled in and you're good to go. In the parser, you simply need to browse for your TFX file, set the year to the current year, set the published on date, and I'll come back to this in a second. Set the from and to fields that the timetable covers, first day of term through to the last day of term or something like this. And I'll talk more about this in just a second as well. Import options, you can import classes, allowances, or both. For a test run, select import no classes or allowances if you want to run the parser without writing any data. For a real import, you'll usually want classes and allowances, you'll want teachers to classes, and you'll want student preferences. School and campuses, select your school and then tick the campuses in this file. Single campus schools can tick everything. Multi-campus schools with separate TFX files only tick the campuses in that particular file. By the way, if you want to watch a video of me running through this, in the notes section, again, inside CG, current grid, import timetables, you'll see that there is a fully itemized video from last year's TFX parser run through. So if you actually want to see this in action, there is a detailed video in there that you can check out. Okay, the published on date. This is the most common mistake and it's the easiest to avoid. When two imports cover overlapping date ranges, the file with the later published on date wins. If you accidentally give a newer file an earlier published date, the platform will treat the older file as current, and that can reverse teacher assignments and student selections. Let me explain this with a little bit more detail. Let's say you have a student who on the 30th of June moved out of methods and into general maths. If you accidentally set the semester 2 post June 30 timetable file with an earlier published on date and semester 1 has a later published on date, it will think that this student has moved from general to methods because it will be treating the semester 1 class allocations as the more up-to-date ones. A quick tip about holidays. If you want to keep teacher FTEs continuous during the break, so you don't want them to dip down to 0 on the first day of the holidays and then jump back up on the first day of next term, end the term on the middle Saturday of the holidays and start the next term on the middle Sunday. So this is to do with your file start dates and end dates, the to and from fields in the TFX parser. If there's no gap, and no overlap. There will be no inconsistencies in your teacher FTE data. After the import, once the parser finishes, you'll get a success notification. Press OK, and then Generate Report in the bottom left-hand corner downloads the post-import log and any CSVs you might need to correct any untidy data in your master tables. Go to Current Grid All. So under CG, once again, go to Current Grid All and check there that all your records have been imported. Go to Grids and Loads, Current Loads, and you should see individual teacher loads in there. And if you go to Reports, also in the left-hand side menu, along with Grids and Loads, Current Reports will show you the reports built from your imported data. If you notice some errors or issues with your CSV, you probably don't need to delete the whole current grid. You can simply fix the master tables or fix your TFX files if required, and then rerun the parser with the same dates. It will overwrite anything that falls within that to and from date range. And that is it. You obviously in this video won't have an opportunity to put your hand up and ask questions, but you can feel free to send me an email at marty@schooldata.com.au, or if you want a faster and perhaps more tailored response, we have a dedicated team manning support at schooldata.com.au, ready to import your files for you and answer any questions you might have. Thanks everyone. Next week, which is fast approaching, we will be looking at exam timetables, creating your advanced constraint exam timetables. If you haven't tracked or seen the pre-work yet, let me know. And if you have any questions about that, please feel free to either join in the session or send them through. Thanks again, and we'll see you every Thursday at 2:30 afternoon.